Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to hang out with me a little bit and check the video out. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the truth of why bass tournament payouts suck so bad and why they've always sucked so bad. And going to give you guys some opinions on my side about what could be done with that. Whether or not the tournament organizations will do that, probably not. But I can tell you why the payouts suck, and we're going to get into that in today's episode. Also, guys, before we get started, just wanted to remind you all that March, in my opinion, is the number one month out of the year for jig fishing, for full-size jig fishing. And I'd just like to invite you guys to try out my Blaukat throwback jig from Cumberland Pro Lures. I'll link these in the description of my video. You can get them at Tackle Warehouse. They just got 1,500 in on a new shipment. They usually only last about a week or two. So if you guys would like to pick some up, link in the description there. And guys, try anything with the brown or green in it. Brown and orange is probably my favorite. Straight brown's another good one. Green and chartreuse, we have that available. We got 6 colors. So I'll put the link in the description there and get you some good fish with those jigs this month. Okay, guys, one of the things about bass tournaments is I've been fishing tournaments since the late 1970s, and the payouts have always sucked. And I can tell you one thing, with the exception of about a 2 or 3 year period back when FLW had their deals with Walmart and the vendors were chipping in a lot of money, we had some really good payouts for about a 3 year period. But other than that 3 year window that didn't last very long, bass anglers have always been on the edge of revolt for decades over the payout being so terrible. I remember I was fishing the Bassmaster Classic. I can't remember which one it was, but the anglers for a couple of years had been really griping about the payouts were terrible. And we went to Ray Scott, and basically we were at the Bassmaster Classic, and prior to the Classic, like 2 days before it started, we had some demands. We wanted some payout increases. It wasn't fair. And you know what they said? It's like, well, if you guys don't like this or you don't like the payout in the Classic here, you guys just go home. We'll find 35 other guys that want to come and fish the Classic. So when you're dealing with some type of an authoritarianism type situation within tournament organizations that don't give you any negotiating power or don't give you any leveraging power, that is a very frustrating situation. And that's sort of the way it's been in tournament fishing. It's like if you don't like it, don't fish. There's none of this, okay, what can we do to boost payouts? I've never seen that before. But I'm going to tell you guys the reality of why tournament payouts suck so bad. It's because the tournament organizations are for-profit businesses. That's exactly what it is. And that they have done a terrible job overall of marketing the sport of professional bass fishing. Because take a look at this, guys. Professional golf. I saw a deal on the Bass Boat Fan on a Facebook Facebook post they made. One of the pro golfers last week finished 20th place in a golf tournament and won $240,000 for 20th place. And then we've seen the same with other sports out there. You got these big payouts for other individual sports, but not for bass fishing. And you know what doesn't make sense in it? Is bass fishing has over 55 million licensed participants annually in this country. So look at that potential market of viewers or customers to your brand. I guarantee that golf or tennis or anything else, they don't come close to that, to have many participants in the sport, yet they still have these big payouts. Now, a lot of it has to do, again, with these organizations are for-profit businesses. So what they're going to do is they're going to give the anglers just enough money to keep them from revolting. And that's what they've always done. It's like that when people have gotten so mad about it, they throw a little carrot. That lasts a couple years, and then everybody else gets mad, and then payouts go down again. The payouts right now in professional fishing are at an all-time low relative to the entry fees. It's like, you look back that we had higher payouts 25 and 30 years ago, and we had less entry fees. So something doesn't add up. It's like, how in the world back in 2000 or 1999 or 1998, how were we competing for twice the money payouts and half the entry fees? Now we're paying double the entry fees for half the payout. Something doesn't add up there. It doesn't take freaking Einstein to understand that something does not something's not kosher with this particular deal here. So the thing about it, until anglers can have a nonprofit organization, and until Bassmaster or MLF or any organization out there is a nonprofit organization that is owned by the anglers and ran by the anglers, this is always going to be the situation. There's going to be a handful of people at the top that are basically sucking everybody else dry, and they're taking all the pie, and they're giving everybody else crumbs of the pie, and they're keeping all the sponsorship dollars that they have. So it's a couple of different things. Number one, they've done a very poor job in marketing where they cannot, have decent payouts for the anglers, and they're keeping a lot of money for themselves, being a for-profit business. So this is just, it's one of those things that's really irked me as a tournament angler forever. Is we put so much time and effort and love and energy into the sport, and they're not fairly compensated for that. And for the most part, I can tell you guys, tournaments have always been top heavy, and that's ridiculous. Back when the Forest Wood Cup was paying $1 million for first place for several different tournaments, why are you giving $1 million for first and then chicken feed to everybody else? All that is to try to boost the name of the tournament organization. It doesn't do anything for the anglers except for one person that wins it. The payout structure, in my opinion, from what they need to do, it needs to be more evenly distributed throughout the field, because one angler should not win $1 million if they catch one more ounce than another angler that wins just a few $1,000s. It's just messed up with that. But anyway, guys, that's in a nutshell, that's what it is. Tournament organizations are for profit, and they're going to try to make the biggest profit they can for themselves. And they're just, like I said, they're going to throw crumbs at the anglers because they know and they understand that tournament fishing, they're catering to a bunch of addicts here. Tournament fishing is an addiction, and I've been an addict myself. I know how powerful it is, because I can tell you from somebody that has won Bassmaster tournaments myself before, is when you win a Bassmaster tournament, and I've held that trophy over my head, I know the dopamine rush and the endorphin rush that you get with that is like heroin. And you want that feeling again and again once you get it. It is an addictive experience. And even on a smaller level, it's even if somebody gets a check, if somebody gets a 15th place check in a tournament and they're driving home, and it's like, I just got paid $3,000 for catching fish. That's an addiction. It's like somebody that goes to Las Vegas and spends all their money at a blackjack table or craps table. It's the same thing, and they prey on that addiction. They understand that as long as they provide the avenue for them to feed their addiction, that we're going to do it regardless of what the payout is, and they're pretty much right on there. They have tapped into that part of an angler's psyche that is always chasing that endorphin rush from winning money in tournaments, even if it's just chicken feed. So anyway, guys, it's just another one of those things that in a perfect world, none of this would exist. In a perfect world, there would be one tournament organization that basically was the definitive organization of being a professional angler, and that tournament organization would be a nonprofit organization ran by the anglers. The rules are set by the anglers. Payouts are set by the anglers. They don't have this big staff that they have to pay. They don't have all these big production costs that they have to pay. The money would go back to the tournament anglers where it belongs. So anyway, guys, let me know what y'all think about that. Be curious to get your opinion, and we'll check in later. See you.